Hey, Jesus.
Alright guys, this is our impressions on the Mob of the Dead or Alcatraz Prison Black Ops 2 Zombies map. And we just want to give you an idea of what we thought about the map. So we're just going to talk about a couple of things that we liked and what we didn't like. And so I'm going to start with the feel and the look of the map and the time period and all that stuff. I honestly think this is one of the coolest maps there is for zombies. It's probably one of the spookiest, I think, and it's got a great like gangster kind of feel to it. They've got the Tommy guns in, and you know, like the Uzis, and you know, it really feels like you're like a mobster fighting off zombies. So that's pretty cool, and yeah, and the characters are really enjoyable. I like their like their one-liners, and yeah, and I like the new mystery box design. It's pretty cool too. Derek, you want?
Okay, well, I just want to say one thing about the mystery box. I kind of liked the teddy bear instead of the lock for it disappearing.
Yeah, the lock feels a little generic.
It just feels a little boring. I don't know why. But anyways, so the first really big aspect I'm going to talk about is the House Retriever, which is the new tomahawk. I think it's really cool. You know, it's kind of like a boomerang. When you throw it at zombies, it like flies through a bunch of them, killing them, and then coming back to you. It can also retrieve perks for you, which I like that too. I retrieved a couple of perks. It's also saved my life a couple of times, so definitely get it. That's one definitely like important aspect. Another one is the gondola. When trying to get from the cell block down to the dock, I would definitely recommend the gondola because it's probably the quickest way to get you from point A to point B, and even though it does have to refuel and stuff, it's worth it when you get it because it can save your life.
Well,
sometimes.
you know, I kind of find it really dangerous because, you know, especially if you're not talking to your teammates a lot, you know, you may split up into like 2 or 3 teams or something, and you know, like sometimes people will take the gondola and be like, you know, they didn't realize that you're, you know, behind them, and then you get kind of screwed because it's kind of a dead end when you get to there, and yeah, so you got to be really careful and talk to your teammates about that. And teamwork is a huge part of this map, especially because, you know, there's a lot of tight corners and it's like a lot of really narrow hallways and stuff, and there's not a lot of room to, you know, mess up. And it's probably one of the hardest maps. Well, maybe not one of the hardest. I think Shangri-La was pretty hard, but yeah, this one's definitely up there in the difficulty. Derek?
Oh, okay. So, and then there's another thing that I want to talk about in the aspect of things to get accomplished in this map. Another one is the plane. You pretty much just have to collect parts for it and then put them up all on the roof. And I find it kind of cool that the plane is primarily made out of the body of a boat, which is pretty cool. And when you put the plane all together, it's just, when you ride it, you better get on that thing because when it leaves, you're downright screwed. But getting to the Golden Gate Bridge with it is really fun because pack-a-punching is like a really key substance to this map. If you don't pack-a-punch by like somewhere in the teens, then chances are you're not going to make it too far.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a lot of time, you know, to play this map because, you know, you want to get those parts, you're going to have to leave a crawler because it's impossible to get the parts, you know, in the middle of a round. And the one thing I don't like about the plane is that when you go on it the first time, you know, it's fine, you know, it's kind of unexplained, you know, why there's a ramp and like well, I mean, it's their escape plan, right? So
yeah.
I guess it is explained. But you go through the electric chair, you get back, and then you go up, and somehow it's there, the main, well, the whole plane's there again, and all you have to do is refuel it. So it's not really explained how the plane got back because it looked like it crashed when you get on there the first time.
I think that would take a bit of time. I think that's why they didn't add it in because it's like that would just take extra time.
What do you think about Electric Cherry?
Electric Cherry, it saved my ass more than once. Definitely. Electric Cherry, pretty much what you do, it's a great innovation. When you reload, it emits an electric shock which kills the zombies around you. It's definitely important. All the perks in this map are pretty important actually, but it's kind of a pain to have to turn them on, like with.
Oh yeah, the afterlife. That's a pretty key part in this map. You know, like for something that just got introduced, it's kind of a big part of this map. And yeah, it is kind of a pain to have to go to each and every perk and turn them on, and then it's kind of more like a puzzle-solving map than most other maps.
Well, and then not only is it a pain in the butt to actually have to turn the perks on, but when Brutus spawns, that new Juggernaut boss zombie, it's like if he goes past that perk, he's locking it, and you have to pay $2,000 to get it again.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain. Yeah, overall, I think this is a really great addition to the Zombies map so far, and we've really been enjoying it. We've been playing it a lot, even though I'm getting kind of frustrated with it, especially because really, like we said before, it's not a trainer's map. There's not a lot of spots to train zombies around. So since that's like one of the main things I do, it's kind of hard for me to get used to this map.
Yeah, it's just kind of hard for Kyle because he's not really used to tight places. He's used to being like a trainer in maps like town and such, and they just have way bigger places. So when you're making a train, you can't exactly cut through the middle because most likely there's gonna be something in the middle of your train, and that's where you're actually training around.
Yeah, and Pack-a-Punch is really hard to get. How we talked about the plane. And yeah, it's just really hard to get to. I mean, I kind of like the challenge of having to get the Pack-a-Punch. I think, Pack-a-Punch should be kind of challenging to get, but I think this is a bit too challenging, maybe.
And then one thing that just came to my mind, I find it kind of outgoing, the fact that the plane is actually like accelerated by air conditioners. And the fact that even after you crash...
Derek, this game's unrealistic anyway.
I know, but when you crash into the Golden Gate Bridge, I mean, the plane is broken, so that makes it even more of a question, how is it still there?
Well, I just asked that. Yeah, but overall, I think this is a great map, especially for those of you who like just running and gunning, like Derek here, or like his friends. They're pretty good at just like running and gunning, and... yeah, but you gotta get good guns quick because, like I said before, it's really hard to get through this game without firepower. And, yeah, overall, I think it's really great. I understood why they took away Quick Revive because of Afterlife and Mule Kick. It would have been kind of nice to have Mule Kick, especially, those times when you run out of ammo in your two favorite guns and then you don't want to get rid of one. But, yeah, overall, I think it's a great map. Definitely a fun map to play. But pretty difficult. You have anything to add?
Well, I would say about the whole gun issue, I just make sure that I don't get two guns that I really, really like, so that way if I have one wonder weapon and one regular, I'm fine with switching out the regular.
Okay, fine.
That's just me.
Totally shoot down my argument. But yeah, definitely, we recommend getting this map if you haven't already. For those of you with Season Pass, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Season Pass is $50. If you want to save yourself some money and not get each one individually, you'll save $10 by buying the Season Pass. So definitely, this has been the greatest Zombies DLC map yet, and
really ambitious map.
Out of 10, what would you give it?
I don't know. I'd probably give it a 9. I like the feel and stuff, and the new wonder weapon, the Blundergat. We didn't really talk about. Is it the Blundergat? Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about it too much because I only got it in one game, but yeah, I mean it's a pretty cool shotgun, and but my problem is the whole training thing. It's really hard to train in this map, and that's one of the things I liked about the other Zombies maps. But each map kind of has its own take on things. So, Derek, what would you give it?
As well, I would also give it a 9 out of 10, just because. Of the really tight spaces, although at the same time I could arguably also give it a 10 out of 10 because I think that's kind of what they were trying to get at with the closed spaces. So I think that's kind of the feel they were trying to get out of it.
Alright guys, so that was our Mob of the Dead first impressions, well, review sort of, I mean.
So with that said, I'll give it a 9.5 I guess.
Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll have some more videos up soon, and
maybe a new camera.
Maybe a new camera, we're hoping. So, stick around. What am I talking about?
Keep watching our channel.